3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, everybody. How are y'all this evening? This is Spirit Medium Laura on my favorite word of late, Transcendence, the Transcendence radio show, with me focusing in on messages for you from the other side or messages about your own life, the here and now, as well as medical intuition. There is a website for the show called spiritmediumtv.com, and there you will receive or get a variety of resources, one of which is to see me live in front of a camera. Not that that's so fascinating, but sometimes you might see me roll my eyes. So that could be interesting. Anyway, some people are more visual. They like to see people. So there it is. You can go to spiritmediumtv.com and watch the show live and listen there as well. You can also make a donation to jump to the top of the queue. That's called the 8 No Wait. If you have an urgent matter that just can't wait, donate 8 and you'll jump the gate. I already have one that's shown up. That would be Susan. And I'm waiting for somebody else who did make a donation, but she made it last week when I was not doing the show. And I haven't seen her show up yet. So maybe she forgot. I don't know. She said that she was going to be coming to the show today. We have a lot of people in the queue. I'm not going to talk a lot. I'll just give you a couple of housekeeping things as I'm doing, then a focus subject, and then I'll get right to the phone lines. The only other housekeeping, well, there are two things actually. The only two other housekeeping things are the following. First is if you would like a reading with me, a private session, just go to booklaura.com. That's booklaura, Laura.com, and you will be taken to the booking page where you make a payment. And during your payment process, you will be given a chance to enter the event code and to receive a third more time free than that for which you pay. Put in the code radio show. Okay, so I actually have a name for that. I think I call it the free for me. I love these rhyming things. They help you and me remember what it's all about. The free for me, use radio show key when you're booking at booklaura.com. So the free for me, use radio show key when you're booking at booklaura.com. So we do have a focus subject, as I do every week. If you'd like to get articles and updates on my whereabouts and wonderful focus subjects mailed to you, just go to spiritmediumtv.com and join the mailing list there. Tonight's focus subject is going to be about being ready for success. You know, lately I've been into this whole thing of creating reality from our intentions, otherwise known as manifesting. And this current article is you are not ready for success. It's a funny thing about manifesting, but as soon as you're trying to manifest something, you're wanting something and not having it, right? So there's this weird kind of conundrum or puzzle about manifesting. And I did some channeling in the article. So first we'll state the problem. When you're not ready for success, you vibrationally cannot hold success, even if it flops in your lap. So for example, let's say somebody's playing the lottery on a regular basis and did win, quite often they don't hold on to the money because vibrationally they're not ready for it. Now, if they are ready for it vibrationally, they'll hold on to that money. But if they're not, and that can happen in life, if you had a wonderful success or luck in some area and you weren't ready for it, you didn't understand what it was all about, or somehow you did not match that in a vibrational way, that inevitably will be taken from you. The same is true if you're wanting something in your life and you keep wanting it and trying to manifest it, wanting it, trying to manifest it, and all you get is a problem. You don't get it. The advice first from Spirit in the channel section of the article is stop wanting and start having. And that means a couple of things. Two things, actually, it means. The first is When we stop wanting and start having, we enter the now. So if you meditate on a regular basis, you'll move out of that space of not being in the now to being outside of the now. So when you're wanting things and they're not coming true or they're not coming into your life, start meditating. It'll take you from wanting to having the now. So wanting what you have right now is being in the now, right? It's an interesting idea, right? So that's the first thing, is being grateful through your action of being in the now. A lot of people make, every day they do a gratitude meditation. That's all very well and good, but as soon as you're done with it, you may forget. Oh, I'm supposed to be grateful, but already you go back into complaining, right? But if you meditate, you start to train yourself out of thinking and into the heart chakra, which is the now. And you start experiencing life in the now, which is stop not wanting anymore, but having, being in the now. The second point that Spirit makes in the channeled portion of the article is, let me just get it again because I forgot what it is. Hold on, guys. So big into that. Stop wanting, start having. I forgot what it is. Oh, this is another way to stop wanting and start having, is to start giving yourself that which you think you need or want. So you may say to yourself, well, I want a love partner. I want to get married. I want love. Well, start giving yourself love now. Be happy with what you have. Okay? Make more friends. Start creating a space for your loving relationship to fit in your life. Whatever you think that might be. But start loving what you have now, and you will start attracting what you are, which is called the spiritual law of vibrational resonance. We are always attracting what we are. So if you don't have what you want, it's because you're not ready for success. Right? You're not reflecting the vibration of what you want. Okay. Now we're going to go to the phone lines, but first I always do a prayer and an energy connection with all of you. So all of you beautiful people and beautiful souls that are listening, if you would please sit back and uncross your arms and legs and go into open body position, starting to breathe from your abdomen deeply and steadily. Breathing in now. And exhaling, letting go of any and all tension, entering the now, feeling your body, feeling your breath. And as you breathe in again, remembering from your abdomen to breathe. And exhaling when you're ready. I'd like you to start focusing in on what you would like your reading to be about. So focus in on your issues today, mentally. If you want an other side connection, please focus in on inviting in your loved one or loved ones from Spirit, always keeping in mind the soul that shows up is the soul that is most ready to speak to us, most able in a vibrational sense, or needing to in a vibrational sense. So we don't have complete control, but you certainly can imagine that soul coming in, but be happy with what you get. Okay? That's being open. And the more happy you are with what you get during mediumship, the more you will get. And by the way, that's the rule of life, right? What we were just saying. You're not ready for success till you're happy with what you have. Isn't that funny? Okay. So while you're doing your assignment of focusing on what you want and calling in your loved ones from the other side, I'm going to go off and invoke the Master Prayer. I'll be back in a millisecond. And now, on your next exhale of breath, please release into your space your energy, and I will connect us. One moment, please. Oh, my obligatory yawn for the evening. Okay, and so I'm going to go to the first person that's made a donation, and I'm going to look for the one that's on my list because I didn't see her yet. She forgot, I guess. Okay, so I do know Susan has shown up, and she also made a donation, so I will be going to that phone line. Hey, Susan. Hi. Oops, I'm on the wrong line. Hold on. Susan, I'm sorry. I had the wrong line open. I'm sorry.
I'm like, I'll just hang out here.
Oh, by the way,
It's all good.
It's all good. You've been doing your meditating, no doubt. Everybody listening is yeah. Well, everybody listening is Susan. If I do perchance get knocked off, I'm like a loyal puppy. I'm coming back, so don't worry about that, everybody. Susan included. But I think I have
kind of like that part of manifesting.
Yeah, exactly. I actually figured out why I get knocked off sometimes because I wasn't using a wire into my modem. I have to have a wire to not do a virtual, not do a LAN. Okay, so on to you, my dear. Go right ahead and give me your question, please.
Okay, so my question is, I invested in an email marketing company last year in October.
Okay.
And I was wondering if I was going to receive any money or compensation back from the company because it wasn't working for me.
Oh, so you're trying to get a refund from them. So it's more than it's more than just what I use, where you just pay money and use it as a list, they send you out. But it's more like supposedly a funnel or a little bit more involved. Is that what you mean by email marketing?
Yes, I invested $17,000.
Holy schmoly! All right, I'm not feeling good about getting a refund. At least according to what you've done right now. And I also am picking up that they do have T's and C's, terms and agreement. They have terms and conditions, T and C, which pretty much in the small print are stating these things. You can always argue things with this is a big amount of money, with a lawyer, but let me just look at that. Hold on.
Okay.
If she argued with a lawyer, would she be able to get a refund on this? Yes, or some compensation for this, please? Yes or no? With a lawyer or proper legal counsel. Yeah. So I do get, if you did find someone to represent you, a legal counsel of some sort, you would be able to get at least a portion of it back. It is a big enough amount to try to find somebody. I don't think you're working with anyone right now, are you?
No, I just sent my first email out to them, just kind of sending, my piece and how I felt about it. They don't really, they kind of frown on anybody being negative, or, they're very good at personal development where they change everything around to make it like it's you that's not working right.
Yeah.
So I found it very hard to work with them. So it's kind of like the new moon energy and releasing and letting go. And I just thought it would be a great question for this evening to just kind of, find my peace in that and go, okay, so, and let it go if I need to let it go,
Well, it sounds like a network marketing company, and I've heard of some of them, Peak Point or Mountain Point, or there's one like that has these very high fees in personal development and, marketing, online marketing. I've heard of those companies. I just feel like this is something that you should go after. On a contingency, if you can find a lawyer, do it in a matter-of-fact way. Because these companies are not only ripping you off, but other people off. And it's really, it's not a good thing. Let me just see.
It's one of my concerns. There's an elderly woman that's 82 years old, and I spoke to her. She never finished doing her funnel and everything. And I asked her how she was doing, and she reached out for help. And she said, I just kind of gave up. I made some nice friends.
Yeah, really.
And I'm like, okay, you're getting screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I have another client that was in something like that, and I've seen it because at one point I was looking for something like that, to help with an internet marketing. They don't only do it with this kind of business; they do it with different kind of businesses. They're always trying to help. They say they're trying to help you, but it's really, really hard, and the price tags are so high to get in, and they make it. I think they have certain levels of elevation that you go to, depending on where you're at. Could you give me just the initials, honey? I know you don't want to necessarily say who they are. And we don't want to get into company.
Oh, I have no problem.
Oh, all right.
The name of the company is Learn.
L-E-A?
L-U-R-N.
L-U-R-N.
No, L-U-R-N.
Yeah, L-U-R-N. All right, let me just go to vibration with that. Learn, yes or no.
Okay.
Can she do? Well, I think you're right. It's probably not going to be very fruitful for all the the rightness of your position. Spirit does take me to a no on this, even though I said you could probably see counsel in this and that. They have their T's crossed and their I's dotted in terms of legalese, in terms of how they handle these things. And yes, it is more of a personal development thing. You would have to prove that you've done everything that they say the way they say to do it, and it's nearly impossible to do that. So better, you can try, get yourself a lawyer on contingency if you can find one that would do this, and try. But I get a no in the end, so I'm just cutting to the chase on that.
That's what I thought. But sometimes your own guidance sometimes gets affected by your own mind, and sometimes that ego comes in. So that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And kind of just getting to that point of, letting that go, and just, it's a big piece that I need to probably let go. So, but also, like you said, for other people, I feel bad.
Yeah, well, I also feel that even though it may not exactly have worked for you, that you did learn a lot. But the tools and the pieces that they have really are not designed to work together to really fulfill what they're promising, although it is a good educational platform to understand marketing.
Right.
Right. I feel that the tools don't exactly fit correctly together. It's a cacophony of all different tools, and it's almost like you've got the fake stuff so you can learn theoretically how to build a building, but it's building blocks. It's not real cinder blocks. So you can extract from that what you need and move on, to learning internet marketing a different way. There is a company that I like, Pajama something or other. They're called the Pajama marketing or pajamas. I'm looking it up right now. I'm saying this on purpose because there might be other people that are looking for good internet marketing that's honest and not expensive. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, Pajama Affiliates. And it's not that expensive. Pajama Affiliates, it's a woman-run company. And they're honest, it seems. It's hard. Listen, internet marketing requires that you or me or anyone, that we really start sitting 12 hours a day at the computer and going through this and going through that and going through this and going through that. I just simplified my own internet marketing. All I do is one-to-many, a couple of one-to-manys. If I'm doing this full-time, which I'm not anymore, but because I'm partially retired, but if I did, you need to do some one-to-manys in person or via the internet. So this radio show is a one-to-many, right? Creates a show, right? Creates a showcase for your work, and sometimes it can create leads. This radio show doesn't create as many leads for me as it's just a good showcase for my work, which is a nice thing. And it helps build a mailing list. Nice. Yeah, it is very nice. I recommend if you want to do.
You're consistent.
I'm consistent, yeah. I recommend you need to build an email list. The cheapest one out there, I don't use them, but the cheapest one out there is what's it called? Gorilla. I think it's called Gorilla. Is it called Chimp? Oh, MailChimp. Mailchimp.com.
Yeah.
They let, I think, the first 1,000 a month mailed out are free. So you got to build your mailing list while you do a one-to-many event that's educational, and that not only is helping you build your mailing list, but it is also helping you get clients. And you can do it virtually on the internet, or you can do it in person, or a combination. If I were going to do one-to-many and really want to do this full time, if I could get off my own butt, the best thing is to go to Facebook Live and do events there. There's software for that, which would enhance that experience. But you get so many different people on Facebook Live. It's very exciting. And if you add in the software called BeLive.tv, BeLive.tv, it's very inexpensive. That software allows you to have a video, a chat room right on Facebook. So Facebook is developing you're not paying Facebook for this. Facebook is pulling you in people, and you're getting to talk to everybody there. And that's a good sticky way, a good way to kind of connect with people. I hope that this makes sense to you, Susan. I'm going to get off the phone.
Does.
Yeah. All right, sweetie. God bless, honey. You have a beautiful. You're welcome, love. God bless. Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to look around to see if 857 is in my queue. And if not, I will just continue. I need to go to the first person that called in, which is Jay. Aloha, Jay. Jay? Jay must have stepped away for a moment. I'll come back to him after I go to Amla. Okay, Amla. Hi, Amla. How are you, sweetheart?
Hi,
honey. What is
good? How are you?
I'm great, love. So go ahead and give me your question.
Okay. I'm dating this guy. I talked to you about him before, but 2 weeks ago he decided to break up. I don't think it's over. I just don't know what's going on with this. This is just interesting. I just don't know what to do. So,
all right. I first even before you ask the question, I kind of got not good, not good, not good. Give me his initials, please. Amla, give me
AC.
AC. Hold on.
Yep.
Well, I get a not now. Very distracted with something, and fairly self-absorbed at this time in his life, and very, very busy and difficult to get close to. I feel I'm coming up with a series of excuses or just obstacles to getting closer to him. So I would, I don't even know what, I feel like maybe this is just an ego thing, but I feel like you need to kind of, reframe it for the guy, because he ain't all that important. Do you know what I mean? I said, I feel like you need to reframe it for him so he understands that he's not all that important. Now, I'm not saying this because it's going to get you him. I'm just saying it because I get the feeling that he's kind of like, thinks he's really special, and he puts himself, right? He's a little conceited, and he puts his needs way before you or anyone else. And he needs to be put into his place right now, and you need to move on.
You know what, Laura? I think that's definitely what it was before, but my patterning has definitely changed. I'm not texting him. I'm not calling. I'm doing nothing, and no contact whatsoever in the last 2 weeks. That's unheard of on my end. That's completely unheard of. I would usually reach out by this time. So do you feel like by me not doing this, it's not a game. It's just a matter of, like, I know my value now by this, whatever this was or whatever transpired. I know the value of who I am. So that was a lesson for me.
Exactly.
As well.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And not to say you didn't have it, but okay. And that this kind of this has been happening to you, but now less and less, because you're getting their number faster, and you're getting your number now. You understand? Oh, what the heck's this all about? You tend to be attracted to guys who are, attractive people, but they're also narcissistic, or they're not making time for you, or they're not putting you in, where they should be placing you for you to even develop emotional feelings for them. So I'm glad that you're developing your sense of self through this. But yeah, he is just not all that special like he thinks he is.
Yeah, so like showing is better than telling him. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's like, all right, I am not giving you the time of day, nothing. I'm giving him nothing. But do you see him in the future reaching out to me? Or is this just pretty much hanging dry?
No, he's got this, he thinks he's a little more special. Even if you were to even if you're doing what you're doing, it's still not going to help with him because he's set in his ways to be this way. I see him as attractive. Okay. Yeah, very attractive. He's very smart. He likes himself very, very much. But is there any room for anybody else on the couch with him? Not right now. So I'll just let that one go if I were you and move on to greener pastures. But just for your own mindset, before you do that, before you do the playing hard to get, if he does, before all this, I mean, you're not answering his phone calls and all. I feel it might feel cathartic for you to state to him he's just not that important. I know that sounds a little mean, but it might be something healthy for you to state. I hope that that makes sense to you, darling.
That I think I believe so, it does.
All right.
And everything happens for its highest good. So, yeah.
All right, love. Thank you so much for calling in, honey. Bye.
Thank you. Okay. Yep. Bye.
Bye. Going back to Jay. He texted me in the chat room, letting me know he was there now. Hi, Jay.
Hey, thanks, Laura, for taking my call. And sorry about that. I didn't hear you.
No, not a problem, honey. Not a problem. Okay, so you said that you were hearing voices in your dreams or something? Voices? What was this? Tell me the question.
Yeah, I was hearing no voices. I heard my mother call my name out twice. And then I heard a song in my dream, and then I heard like I don't know who it was. It was like water, and I heard this big splash, and I kind of woke up.
Interesting.
So I didn't know.
Well, first of all,
very interesting.
Yeah, first thing I need to say is, I mean, we hear voices in our dreams, but this must have seemed different than a dream. It might have. I think what you're saying is I was dreaming and then I heard this outside of my dream, like water in the room or my mother's name calling me in my room that I was sleeping in. Is that what you mean, honey? Like outside of the dream, it woke you up almost?
Yeah, it did actually. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if that happened to me when my cat died, I was awakened a day or two afterwards and she was right on the she passed on, but she was on the floor next to me meowing. And when I opened my eyes and got out of the dream, it wasn't in the dream. It was like an external meow. She disappeared. So I believe that definitely is them showing up, saying something to you. Now, the other thing, the water and all that, I'm not quite sure, but you said your mother had called you. And I think you might be wondering if this is also, okay, hold on a second. Really? They're saying something about, are you getting, do you feel that you're opening psychically, love? More and more?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Well, I hear something about you feeling it's a crisis of managing your psychic abilities. That you have a crisis about this. Maybe you have mixed feelings about having psychic abilities. But there's some kind of a, I don't know. Let me just ask Spirit this question so I don't sound so vague. Hold on. You're very psychic. You know this. Don't, you don't need to say anything more. Spirit saying you are very psychic. You're very open to investigating your psychic abilities, although you're not trying very hard right now, but you would like to open them more. This is what Spirit is saying. You would like to open them more. Oh, okay. But there is a fear in you about opening them more. There's a holding back, a reticence to open them more and to be clear about the messages. And so because of this, they're coming this way to you. They're coming when you can't manage the situation, when the guard is down. Okay, so I would recommend, well, let me just go a little deeper. Hold on one second before I make any recommendation. Should he pursue? Yeah, you have to pursue your gifts. You have to develop them. because they're wanting to be developed, and you won't feel complete unless they're developed. And they're sort of out of control right now. That's the crisis in managing your gifts. Not that you feel a crisis, although you may feel like you don't want to open psychically, but that if you, right? But if you do have such gifts, they're going to come out some way. Okay, they're either going to come out on their own, or they're going to come out when you're bringing them out. So you are very gifted healer. You're supposed to be using your gifts this lifetime. You already know this. You've tried to use them at fault. Sometimes they're faulty. They're not working. Other times they are working. You're a little unsure about what to do with all of this. Plus, you really don't want to do it as a full-time thing. You like it. It's fun. It's like almost a hobby or something. So I would suggest you just take some development classes, love. Take some development classes and don't have any expectations about using your gifts or not using your gifts. Do it for the sake of expressing your gifts. Because if you don't express your gifts, they are going to back up on you. And it's like the unrequited soul, you know. So imagine that your gift was, right? Imagine that your gift was being an artist, and you went to an art class without any expectations, whatever comes out. And then what happens is the universe can pave the path. Or your guides will pave the path, because there is a soul contract for you to use your gifts this lifetime. Okay. There is a soul contract for you to use the gifts this lifetime, and you're not to be ignoring them. You're not to be frightened of them, which is what you're trying to, that your soul is attempting to get you to use them and not be frightened of them, not stuff them down in yourself, but to use them. It's also in a more, what do you call it? In a more prescient way, in a more topical, superficial way. Using your gifts will heal you in your day-to-day life. It will heal some things that you had to go through in the past, where your boundaries were infringed upon. So it will equalize and normalize your personality, your interface with others, your interface to yourself. So I want you to look at developing your gifts as an end in itself. If something comes of it, which I think will, and it'll be good, all the better. But for now, just develop your gifts. Okay?
Okay.
All right, honey. God bless. Thanks so much for calling in.
God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Love you too. Bye-bye. Okay, let me just see if 857 is here. We've got a lot of people waiting. I'm trying to move quickly, but I can't. By the way, everybody, I really can't move quickly. I know that sounds funny, but each person requires the respect of my focus. I used to try to jam a lot of readings in, but it just doesn't make any sense to do that. So I give them what I can give them on the radio show. Going to Donna, who's number 3 in the queue. Hi, Donna. How are you, love?
Hello, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, love. Now, I just want to let you know, I do remember our last conversation, and I also remember the one before that, which I didn't remember that day. When I first hit you, I said, I think it was something about a love relationship and that you needed to cut the ties with that. So just in the point of, letting you know what I know, I just want you to know that's in my head right now. So go ahead and ask you a question, love.
Oh, okay. I did break ties. Well, he broke the ties, and where I'm at right now is I am focused on doing something different. Doing something to make to be happy in life. With a happy, healthy relationship and everything. And do you see it being for the best for me being away from this person?
You could give me his. I can tell you already what I said still holds. I know it's hard, but I will answer that question again for you. Please give me his initials, honey.
E.H.
E is in Edward, H is in Harry.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Hold on, honey. Let me just see what I pick up. I remember now. Everything's coming back. I feel sadness on his part. Yeah, brokenhearted. I also feel that he needs a lot of work. needs a lot of personal empowerment, feels younger than you, and if not younger than you, then he's just not as, he needs somebody to take care of him emotionally. And I know that's hard for you, because what do you want? You know, you need companionship, you need love, and this person is needing you. So it's like throwing out a puppy, right? Throwing out a loving person who just can't get his act together. Does it make sense to you, honey?
Right. And I'm thinking, I'm not knowing, it's a hard situation, because I'm thinking on my end, you know, maybe he just wants, he's just trying to find a different thing. I'm not the one for him. Like, we were supposed to, everything that I want to do, it was supposed to be with him, and now I have to shift my whole life, and I'm trying to do that. And that's what I really was going to ask you, is which way do I go to do that? Like, we were supposed to have a house, get a house, and move in the mountains, and something always comes up, and he's just, I'm thinking they're excuses, and I don't know. It's very confusing. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say that you have to try to focus. First of all, I'm going to help you focus a little bit by asking you, did you hear what I said about him being a damaged kind of person that your heart bleeds for? Did you hear me say that? Is that I need to know if it's correct. I need to know if it's correct, because I can't give you an answer until I get something solid. So if that's
no, my heart doesn't bleed for him, because that's not. I didn't think of him that way. I know he seems like a damaged person. I mean, it could be, but he's very closed-mouthed, and one minute he's doing this, and the next minute, like, he don't text me, he don't call me, he don't, and I just stopped, because I need to, you know, go on with my life, because I believe if somebody loves you and cares for you, that they will do that. And if not, you got to keep going and not just be there when they need you.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to what I said again, because I wouldn't get those messages unless they weren't correct, and I have to understand where I went wrong before I can move forward. And of course, I have a filled queue, so I'm going to try to be fast about this. Let me go back to his initials again, and I'm going to feel his energy again. He feels very, 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 he's confused too. So I want you to look at him differently, because you're confused also. And I want you to see if this fits. Not, you know, you may not be able to tell me tonight if it does. I want you to think about this. But I get a feeling he's very, very mixed up about himself. He doesn't feel good about himself. He's upset about something he did in the past. It has to do with money. He's confused about his future. He can't make a commitment. And he does love you, which makes this all very, very confusing. So he has problems, but he loves you. And it's difficult for him to make a commitment because of that. He wants you, but it's like loving alcohol. I love my alcohol, but it's damaging me. So this is like you looking at him. I love you, but you're not giving me what you said. You know, he's not solid. So the answer for building a life with him doesn't seem very logical. It doesn't seem like it's a good choice for you. Okay? But it's extremely difficult.
I just want to say, wake up. Come on. This is good. Let's just do this, and we'll both be okay. But it don't work like that, I guess.
No, it doesn't. Not when you have feelings involved. Now, if you were to go to a counselor or a therapist or something, hopefully they would say to you, I think they would. I'm not a therapist, I'm a counselor, you know, all that. But they would probably, they wouldn't say or tell you, but the theory is that when we're in dysfunctional, that's a dysfunctional relationship. It's about a lot of back and forth, a lot of confusion, a lot of broken promises. They would say work on loving yourself and not on the relationship. And that will give you the power to move forward. And so that's what I will say to you. Work on yourself, not the relationship. And if you do that, let me project some possible outcomes, and then I need to move on. So I don't feel that you can do this very easily. I have to say that right off the bat. It's very difficult. There's a part of you that wants and needs this very much. And so the only thing that you can really do, okay, in particular is money, is work on your money area of money in your life. Work on that and bring to yourself as much financial support and success as you can on your own. This will help remove your need for him a lot. And that is your answer for tonight.
Well, I just went today to get a second job, and I'm going to try to get a house in the mountains by myself. It's going to be a struggle, and people say, well, I need to go out and have a good time. I don't have time to do that because I'm trying to do what I want with my life. So,
well, that's what I'm seeing is get your money good and everything else will fall into place. You don't necessarily have to buy a big house, but maybe that's what you really want. So work on what you really want.
no.
Work on what you really want, and I feel the relationship will either fall away or work its way, work through itself. But if you get that thing going, the money thing going, everything else is going to seem to fall into place. Okay, my dear?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Donna. Bye-bye, honey. That's a difficult one. Okay, I'm going to Cece, I believe, who is waiting patiently. There she is. Hi, Cece.
Hey, Laura.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, love. So you have an issue with your father, and he's on life support now. Is that what you said earlier, love?
Yeah, he's had a ventilator for the past 2 years, and things just keep declining.
Oh.
He's been bedridden. You know, I don't want to go through the whole story. I know it's no time. I just want to know when we go forward with this because he's ready to pull the plug. Wednesday, he's very adamant about it. I just want to know, in between that time, to the time of transition, will he go fast? Will it be days or weeks, minutes? Because I remember one time he had actually when a couple years ago when he had transported out before, but they had put it back in and rushed him to the emergency room, but he's so weak. I mean, he can't do nothing.
All right, now listen to me. Are you afraid he's going to change his mind? Why are you're the one that can't let go of him right now? Okay, that's what it sounds like to me. It's very hard to let go of somebody you love, you know? It's very, very hard.
The thing is, I'm afraid he's going to change his mind, yes, because he's in constant pain. So when he tells me things, I think it's out of emotions and out of pain. So I constantly ask him when I'm there,
yeah.
Are you sure you still want to do Wednesday? Only because I don't want him choosing out of emotion and pain, because you can't take a life back, you know.
Okay, now listen. So, I'm going to check about ever getting better. I'm going to go to Spirit and see that, because if he's been on life support for a whole year, I mean, there's probably very little chance he can get better. What was that? What'd you say?
2 years.
2 years. All right. And please give me his initials.
SB.
S as in Sam, B as in boy?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me go to his energy. Yeah, actually, yeah, I get that he could get better over time.
I believe so.
And it's some kind of a neurological disorder that has been treated before successfully. For some reason or other, he's not getting that treatment, but I hear neurological disorder. What is wrong with him, please?
Myasthenia gravis, that's correct.
So it is.
Myasthenia is a rare condition.
Yeah, so it is a neurological disorder?
Yes.
Okay.
Autoimmune, but it's neurological because his brain not getting the messages from his muscles, you know.
Yeah, right. Okay. So he's got a neuromuscular disease. They're not doing much to help him, but they are trying to help him with conventional drugs and medicine. He would do better if he were on his own for a while, not depending so much on the drugs, but renewing his will to live and trying very, very hard through will and drugs and therapy. So, okay, what do you mean by that, Spirit? because you just contradicted what you just said. He needs to really want to live. He needs to really use his will to live. I see him trying to move his fingers and his feet, and sometimes he is successful at it, sometimes he gives up. So it's an up and down thing of giving up and then trying, giving up and then trying, and I see why you're so confused about this. I wonder if they did pull the plug. Would he really pass?
I feel like he still can, despite everything you're saying is what Spirit told me. Like in not directly, of course, not in your way, but it's been in my heart, and usually the gut feelings, and so I believe so as well. Just exactly what you're saying. I feel like he needs to be doing physical therapy because the whole 2 years he's been in the bed, nobody's thinking of therapy. So I don't think that's right. I was recently thinking about that. That's just something that came in my mind. And I said, oh my gosh, what happened to physical therapy? It's been 2 years, So I was thinking we need to go more holistic ways.
Yeah, but it's really hard to get him. It's hard to get him to go holistic. It costs money. You'd have to find the right therapist.
Yeah.
I know a doctor, and I want you to write this down. She's done it's called, her name is Dr. Walls, W-A-H-L-S. W-A-H-L-S.
Okay.
Okay, and she's developed something called the Walls, W-A-H-L-S, protocol. The reason I'm bringing her up.
Protocol,
P-R-O-T-O-C-O-L.
Right.
She cured herself of multiple sclerosis through diet.
Wow.
Through diet. And she's, if you Googled her name and you went onto YouTube, you see a whole bunch of stuff. And she's, at least there's some hope there. But so I would suggest you immediately check that out. Maybe call her office, see if there's any hope. Because she's trying to work with different cases, and it has to do with similar to a multiple sclerosis thing of what your father has. And
Correct.
Right, and see what their office has to say. That's because she's done what traditional medicine would say is not possible. She was on medicine, she was on drugs. She had, instead of getting better, she kept getting worse. She was in a wheelchair finally, and then you'll hear her story if you go to Google. And so I get the feeling that he can get better, but it's a very iffy thing because if he doesn't have the will to live, and if he doesn't have the medical personnel to help him, or he doesn't have belief, then he can't get better. But I think there are cases where people have gotten better from this, and so start with that. Okay, start with that. All right.
Okay.
All right, honey.
He's real adamant about Wednesday. I'm gonna see if I can get him to postpone, but he doesn't want to, so I'll see. He's ready to go, but everything he was telling me is I've gotten those messages. I'm so glad you're reaffirming that. Thank you so much, Laura. I know you have others to get to, so.
No, just relax. No, that's fine.
I'll let you go.
This is a very important thing, and everybody's situation is critical. I want you to. I want you to also look at it a different way. When a soul is ready to go, they're ready to go. And so even though there could be a way for him to get better, if he really wants to go, let's assume life continues as we see on a regular basis if we do any mediumship, or in other ways, if you believe life continues, and that he won't be dying, he'll just be transitioning to another, another state, and that's okay too. So you have to get at peace with that, because you're his daughter, you don't want to see him go. But on the other hand, if he's ready to go, he wants to go, and there's no resources for him to heal from, then you can have peace with him going as well. Okay, my dear?
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. God bless. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
That's a very difficult situation. We're now going to go to Kim, who's wanting an other side connection. And again, Kim, just wait for a second while I just check to make sure that my Shannon hasn't come in. I'm looking for area code 857. Yeah, she must have forgotten all about this. Okay, Kim, hello there.
Hello.
Hi, honey. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sweetheart. And so did you have a chance to call in your loved ones in the spirit realm earlier?
Yes, I feel it's, yes.
All right. Let me just, I get a very strong feeling of a mother figure around you, and I also feel a child, a son. I'm not sure exactly where that fits in, or if you lost a child, or how that fits in. I just feel a child or son. So let me just develop it a little bit, and then we'll go with it, please. It's for Kim, other side connection, 330. So there's a mother figure here for you, a very kind, sweet lady. She looks like old lady, old-fashioned lady. She looks rather slender as she moves towards the end of her life. She does lose a lot of weight, and she's not as robust as she used to be, but never really a very heavy person. She's got she looks very thin. She's got white hair. It's soft around her face, not terribly short, but it's on the shorter side. It's got a little wave to it. She's got frail features, a pointed nose, dark circles under her eyes, high cheekbones, square jaw, thin lips because she's older, big eyes, expressive eyebrows. A very, very fine person, loving person. And under her is a male. So there's a male under her. And I don't know if that means she gave birth to a boy. That means if it's your mother's mother, it means, okay,
Yes.
I don't think it's okay, you understand. If it's your mother's mother, then she had a son besides your mother, so you would have an uncle or a couple of uncles.
Yes.
Okay. And if it's your father's mother, then, it would be that. But she has to have given birth to a male besides a female is what she's showing me. She's a very kind person, very special person. Hold on. Her expertise seems to do something with clothing or making clothing. It could be even just knitting or something like textile, something like that she likes or does. I can give you more detail in a moment. But you're saying yes, so I guess you're kind of feeling you know who this is so far, Kim?
Well, I feel it's my grandfather. My grandmother.
Your grandma.
And she did have a son
who's in spirit. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a very strong personality, strong-willed woman, even though I show you her as slender. Oh, she's showing me herself as slender. Homemaker type. She's wearing an apron, very meticulous about the house, very careful about the house, also careful, doesn't overeat or anything like that. I can find out a few more things about her, but I'm trying to go to more of the meaning for you. Hold on. Something in her chest is bothering me, as if she would have had something to do with heart or lungs for passing. I see her throwing up a lot towards the end of her life or not being able to hold food down. I can say that as well. Do those symptoms make any sense to you, please, for what you know about her, honey?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The throwing up was a lot towards the end of her passing. And I also feel there's a little bit of mystery around her passing. They're not quite sure what happened. But just illness. There's an illness there, but I don't think it comes down to one thing. It's like a combination of things. Would that make sense to you?
I know she had a heart trouble.
Okay, there's
I was kept in the dark about what else. So
yeah, there's a few things going on with her, but I do feel she's got heart, but she's also throwing up a lot, so there's something else going on. Oh, okay. Well, she probably lived to an advanced age and had a myriad of things going on. She could have also had she says some kind of a flu or virus was also in her body at the time. So she's got a few things going on at the time of her passing and her transition to spirit realm. She says it was a relief to go. The fatigue was unbelievable. At that time, she couldn't even get out of bed. She said she felt like she had a hand on her chest 24/7. She couldn't breathe anymore, and she was happy to release and go to Spirit God and see the other side and the world of spirit. She loves you very, very much. There's a dog with her that you love very much. Something about gifting it to her, or she gives it to you, or I don't know, something to do with the dog. Would you know anything about a dog, please? Some dog you had or she had? Know anything about a dog, honey?
She had a dog.
Okay.
She had a dog, and I had one that passed a couple years ago. So I know she's up there too.
All right, wonderful. Well, there's dogs. There's those two dogs. The dog that you. Oh, she says you gave her. Now that means that she's in spirit before the dog arrived. So she says it like a gift. Okay, like the dog's spirit soul goes to her, which she takes care of also. She loves that dog very much, and I see a dog. It kind of reminds me of a hound of some sort. He's got a bone in his mouth. Was it a hound, honey? Or did anybody have a hound? of any sort? Long, droopy eyes, big ears?
Not that I know of.
Okay, well, I see a hound. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
All right.
No.
Now I'm trying to get to what you have a son, right? Don't you have a son on Earth?
I had a miscarriage. I don't have a son.
Okay. Well, okay, maybe your uncle died very young then. I see a boy around her.
Yes.
In spirit. Okay, so he died when he was still a boy. Well, even though you didn't have a chance to get to know him, he cares about you. She's saying he loves you very much. A lot of family up here waiting for you when you're ready to transition. She says, don't ever doubt the spirit realm. She says, you're very good basic. Hold on for a second. Very good basic. Your values, your basics are very good. You take care of the home. You're a very kind person, very loving person. She says you feel something is missing in your life right now. It would have to do with the word love, getting love, having love, being in love. You wish that it would surface for you again. She's saying something about you wanting love. Would that make sense to you, please, Kim?
Yes, I'm not married.
Yeah. She quickly adds in at this time, but you'll see love will come to you again. Love will come to you again. Don't you worry about a thing, honey. And that's what your grandmother wanted to say to you. She loves you very much. And give that. Do you have a bunny or some kind of stuffed animal that was given to you as a child? Do you still hold on to something like that?
We raise bunnies, yes.
Okay, because she said, give that snuggly bunny a hug for me. I was like, holy crap. What do I say about that? Just give that snuggly bunny a hug for me. Okay. So if you ever doubt that spirit continues, think of those words, my dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. God bless. Love you. Bye-bye. Okay. And so now there is, let me see if there's anybody else waiting in queue here. There's a lot of people waiting, but anybody I numbered? Nobody I numbered. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go by people waiting longest in the queue. We have a little bit of time left, and I hope to get to somebody. Here we are, 940.
Hi, this is Tammy.
Tammy, hi. Did I get that right? With a T?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely, my dear. What can Spirit do for you this evening, love?
Oh, I was just needing some guidance and hoping to connect, but some guidance towards employment.
Oh, okay.
Possible employment.
Well, they're saying, Spirit is saying you're very good at what you do or what you did when you were employed. You have a lot of expertise. Well, you're also a master of none. So you're kind of like what do they call that? A lot of skills, but not one thing in particular. You want work that's closer to the home, that you would like a little more than what you've had before, where the money is good. That will come to you over time, and I'm going to look at that. It looks like you're in a place that's not that close to any big city or anything. Would that be the case, please?
Right.
And it's hard for you because commuting is a pain in the butt.
Yes.
And money's not so good working from home or any of that stuff. I think that I also see that it looks like you might be a single mother, or you have responsibilities in the home, or it feels like you're a single mother. If you're not literally, then your income is extremely important to the family. Making enough. Okay.
I've always been a single mom.
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, you're very good at that also. So what I'm getting here is that you need to, if you haven't already, looked into a job that would have to do with a civil service thing, something for the government. And it looks to me like it could be an EMS or something.
90 seconds.
Something to do with the fire department. Not that you would be an EMS, but maybe answering 911 calls on the phone or something like that. So if you haven't looked into anything like that, I want you to look into that. The pay would be good. It would be a steady salary, and it would be to your liking. It would be something where you're using people's skills as well as your intellect. Do you know anything like that, Tammy? Do you know anything like that about you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I want you to look into that.
No, ma'am, I don't.
That's what I want you to look into, because that's what I see coming to you.
60 seconds.
All right, my dear, I'm going to let you go then.
Okay.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, love.
Bye.
Okay, everybody, I want to say thank you so much for calling in this evening. I look forward to working with you again next Monday night, which would be the 17th of September. And if you want a private session with me, go to booklaura.com and put radio show in the event code field to get a third more time free. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.